So thank you all for coming. I'm not sure why they're putting my session every time after a meal, but I'm still excited to be here. And let's just start. So I do want to call out Evyatar to present himself before we should start our session. So please, Evyatar.
Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. Just a little bit about myself. As you can hear in my accent, I'm from Israel, the startup nation. I was working in, obviously, as many startups in the past. In addition to that, I don't know if anyone recognized this snake. That's the Charles River in Boston in a normal day, where I was living 5 years, and this is really part of my identity. I was there when I was working for Perfecto Mobile, a company that is developing a test solution. Today I'm working at Radware, which I'll speak in a minute. I started my career as a developer in the R&D and then shifted into support. From there, moved to professional services that was part of customer success, and now fully focused on customer success. And here's my family, my 4 kids, between 20 to 12. Got my MBA from the Technion. That's a little bit about me. About Radware. Radware, for those of you who doesn't know, is a well-known company, over 21 years in the industry, traded in NASDAQ, worth over $1 billion. We are developing a cybersecurity solution. 8 of the 12 World Stock Exchange belongs using our services. 12 of the top 20 banks are using as well. If you are shopping at eBay or you're twittering in Twitter, you are protected by our service. Just a little bit about the team. My team is, I'm managing the customer success team, focused on the cloud services division. Radware is very big. There are other divisions with on-prem equipment. Part of the transition to cloud, we established that team. We are distributed globally with teams here in the US, in EMEA, and also in APAC, Australia, Korea, Hong Kong, and other. Recently, we are now in a hiring process, adding another position for customer success marketing to deal with our low-touch customers. And we have a dedicated team from project managers that are doing the onboarding.
Thank you, Evyatar. So just a little bit about myself. My name is Agur Tzur. Okay. I'm a senior customer success manager at Totango. I actually located in the Israeli office in Totango. This is the R&D center. This is some of my customers who attended this summit. Of course, that I manage more than that. And a fun fact about me that I'm used to be a professional hip-hop dancer. Nothing is going to happen at the end of this session, so please don't.
How about in the middle? Yeah. It's funny. Evyatar used to do that too.
So what are we going to have today? So basically, from an agenda perspective, we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of having automated processes within your organization. Then we'll talk about how to do it right. How can we ensure that we are building the right processes in our organization? Then we'll focus more a little bit about the adoption and value-based conversation that I think that you should have with your customers. Afterwards, I'll let Evyatar get the stage again, and he'll talk about his implementation into Totango, the hurdles that he needed to overcome, and how we overcame them. And he will also share the results, which without it just doesn't mean the same. And then I'll give you a little home assignment that I want you to have when you end this session, and we'll leave some time for Q&A. Questions before we start? Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of processes. So why is it important to have automated workflows and processes? First, scalability, right? If we will not have this scalability, if we will not have this automated process, we will not be able to scale. So it doesn't matter what process it is that you're using, right? As long as we are using Totango, as long as we are using Totango Spark, it doesn't matter if it's an onboarding success block or renewal success block. By using the campaigns and success play and the automatic functionalities that we have in Totango, you'll be able to scale your business. Another important aspect of that is the effectiveness measurement, right? You should know and you should understand whether the automated processes that you're building are making the impact that you were expecting to have them, or whether they are not. And if they are not making the impact that you were expecting, then you need to understand how you need to resolve them and what you need to change in order to reach your goals. We need to be able to adapt quickly to changes, right? With our system, It's really easy to just iterate. Whether you need to configure a new success play, whether you need to configure a new campaign, whether you need to add another testing group, whether we want to now send, even whether we want to improve. Currently we had like one process for all, and now we want to get more specific, whether it's for specific tiers or for specific products. We want to be able to adapt to changes when they come. And work prioritization. As a CS team leader or as a CSM, I need to understand what I need to do today. On what should I focus now, and what are the items or the action items that I need to take later on this week, this month, or this year. So we really have this visibility as part of our automated processes. And of course, executive visibility. With Totango Spark and with our success block, we can really show our executives what was the impact that we were able to achieve, right? And how we achieved it. And if we're not making the right progress, again, using the scorecards, we can understand where we need to improve and what we need to do in order to reach the goals that we've set for ourselves. Questions on that? Thank you. So really, how to ensure that we are building the right processes. So first, we need to understand what our KPIs are, right? On what are you being measured on? We need to have these KPIs in order to understand what are the challenges that we are facing. What are we looking to improve? Once we understand what we are looking to improve, let's set the goals. What do we want to achieve by having these automated processes? And once the goals are defined, we really need to understand what is the data that is needed in order for us to build the processes. And I know that data is being talked a lot during the last few days, right? And it's not only about getting the good data, but also understand what data is needed. We don't want to have too much data that we are not going to use, or we just want to have it there and maybe then we'll think how we can utilize it. Be focused. What you're looking to achieve, what are your KPIs, what are your goals, just bring the good data in. And of course, that will be your time to impact. Now that we have everything in our hands, let's define the process that we want to build, and hopefully we'll get the results that we want. So now, after we talked a little bit in more generic about the importance of automations, I want to focus a little bit on adoption and value discussion with our customers. So why are adoption and value-based conversation important? So first, it creates a tighter partnership with our customers, right? When we're talking about the value and the outcomes of our customers' businesses, we really turn this relationship into partnership. We are not only vendors that are giving them the service, but we're true partners for them. Usually, it's a good indicator of smooth renewal, which we are all should be focused about, right? Good adoption rate, customer gets value, he's probably going to renew. High adoption creates stickiness, right? We're more integrated into their day-to-day life. They need us, and it's a good opportunity and a good indicator that the client is ready for expansion, whether it's additional licenses, maybe it's additional product or whatnot. And of course, it creates advocacy, references, and increasing the NPS that we are getting from them. So as long as we are focusing on this area, we should see great results from our customers. With that, please allow me to call out Evyatar.
Okay, thank you.
That will share his experience with Totango and the results that he was able to achieve.
Okay, thank you, Agur. Just one comment. We're a very small group, so I know that we have questions at the end, but if you have any questions, just stop by and ask. I really want it to be more a conversation instead of just me talking and you're listening, so please feel free. Okay, so I would like to share with you my experience on the automation project that we did in Radware. And in my part, I'm going to show how we took the things that we learned with Agur, who was very involved, by the way, and supported us all over the way in this project. So the first thing and the most important things is what are your KPIs? Now, our KPIs are very standard: renewal, upsell, satisfactions, and what I call sub-KPI, because they are leading to the higher ones, are adoption and utilization. Okay? So based on your KPI, don't forget it. From there, everything comes to the next stage. The next, and this is unique to each and every one of you, is what are your current challenges? In my team, in my organization, We have a big challenge of value creation. The reason is that we are selling security solution. And as long as you are not attacked, you don't really feel the service. Very similar to an insurance company. Until someone hits your car, you don't know if AIG are good or not. The second thing, which may sound funny for a mature company, is the precise usage. How much are they really using? We are selling network assets and bandwidth, and we want to measure very clearly exactly how much they are using against what they purchased, so we know if we need to overcharge or if there is a risk. And the next, which I believe is also shared to almost all of you, I heard it in all the sessions, is the low-touch accounts. Okay? How can I make sure that I'm not losing them on one hand, and on the other hand, that my team is not dragged into them and not handling my tier 1 customers. So based on the goals and the KPIs, based on the challenges and KPIs, what are the goals? So obviously I want to improve my renewal rate. We all want to do that. I want to increase the adoption, because if there is no adoption, there will be no renewal, there will be no upsell. This is like the base for everything. And next, like I said before, I want to improve my team focus. Okay? If it's a high touch, I want to make sure that they have all the time in the world to serve the enterprise customer. If this is a low touch, I want to make sure when they have a problem, they know about it on time, they solve it, and they move next without wasting too much time on that. After that, okay, once you know your goals, okay, start, and this is something you need to do. No one will do it for you, okay? Map the data that you want to collect. In my case, and again, it may sound funny, purchase licenses, we have an ERP system. We had to do a lot of changes so we can get it in a way, and thank you, Shmulik, we can get it in a way that it will be readable and we can put it into Totango. And on the other hand, we had to develop the integration with our SaaS solutions, what we call the portals, so we can get the actual user, make the matching. Those are completely different systems. I mean, we have computing systems that were great for the 80s, but today are a little bit out of date, so we need to collect them all together. And at the end, don't forget it, because this is what management will ask you at the end. Okay, after you did all the mess, after you drive the organization crazy, what is the impact that it will lead to? And obviously, renewal and upsell, no one cares about anything else but those two parameters. Okay. During this project of the automation, we had a lot of hurdles, okay? And how I was able to overcome them. So first, there are a few ways to start when you're planning, is how you can start either top-down or bottom-up. I started in both ways. And first, I would like to share with you the experience I had with selling it to the management. And I must tell you a funny story, okay? I was working with a bottom down, and slowly with the years, we developed integration. We mapped the missing fields, all the small things that they needed in order for me to benefit from all the automation features we have. But management didn't really understand why I need it, why I'm talking all about it. Now, each and every one of you inside, I don't need to tell you why automation is needed, right? I don't need to tell you why CSM needs to know exactly what's going into the account, what is the usage, what they bought, how it maps together, when they stop using, when they're dropping the service. It's clear, but for management, it was not. And Gur was helping. We had a lot of sessions with my executive, and then we came up with this funny graph that changed her life, okay? We pointed this nice PowerPoint with 4 slides, okay? So first, how are we going to measure, and what is the equation for the things that we want to know? Support and service quality, tickets. In our case, we are taking all the customer data, so we can bring a customer completely down. We can take a website down. So if we do it from time to time, it's not a good thing for the customer. Second is the customer engagement. How often are they talking with the CSM? How often are they talking with the sales team? Are they joining our webinars? Next is utilization, each one their own. In our case, are they logging to the portal? Are they using all the network they bought? Maybe they are overusing. Okay. Last are things that are very hard to automate, but very important. And this is the input that the CSM is giving to us. The champion left. The organization is growing. The organization is shrinking. There was an M&A. There is a business opportunity. Okay, all those kind of things that we need to consider. And market insight. In my world, we know that and it happened to us a few months ago, there was an attack on a big bank in Europe. The next Monday, all the banks are calling to us, please come, we need your service immediately. So everything that is happening in the market, at least in the cybersecurity world, has a strong effect about everyone else. So we need to share it and leverage it. Now, based on those criteria, okay, I can tell my management what is the health of the customer, okay, red, green, yellow, score, or any way. What are the renewal chances? Is there a risk? There isn't a risk. I can project it very well. And what are our upsell chances? Okay, who are the customers that I'm going to target now, and I'm going to build a campaign. And here are two examples. Okay, now here before that, okay, you don't need to read everything. Okay, what's important, and this is like a homework for you if you wish. Okay, take the categories and put the data points or the KPIs that you want to measure in your organization. Okay, in my case, here is an example of how I can build a segment for a potential upsell. Okay, if account has more than 0 tickets, we all know 0 tickets is bad, has no downtime, the latency is minimal, joining our webinars, log in, had a lot of security events, it's a good customer, we should go and upsell. On the other side, here is an account that is not talking to us, had no tickets at all, the bandwidth is very low, and this is going to be a call for action. This account, we now need to assign a CSM and to build a success plan in order to save the account. Okay. By the way, by using that and knowing that, I can tell you that we saved a lot of customers, and sometimes it's even more important. Our projection rate is close to 100. So I know 6 months before the renewal if a customer is going to renew or not. Okay. And this means a lot. First, you have a lot of time to fix. And it allows all the organization, to everyone, to do what they need to do in order to improve it. Okay, the next thing after I sold it to the management, we need to bring the internal team to support you. In my case, I had to work a lot with the IT. The IT was sitting in the middle. We had our ERP, traditional systems, all the licenses. We had our portal, which is the developers are doing. We had to build the integration, an integration engine that will take the data, clean it, process it, and push it into Totango. And the way I sold it to them, by explaining them about their career. You know, I told them at the beginning that they didn't understand why it's so important, you know, to build an integration. And I told them, yeah, tomorrow you are going to an interview. You have 2 options. One option is to tell about a report that you build for the case system. This is one option. The second option is to share how you were building operational tool for a SaaS in a cloud environment. Okay? And once they get that, once they get the effect on their career, it is very easy to solve. Now, most of us are dealing with SaaS. Most of us are dealing with cloud. The IT sometimes doesn't understand the importance of that comparing to building another report of tickets. With the R&D, I must share with you, it was harder. The reason is that I don't want to insult anyone, but R&D are looking like that, okay, just straight ahead, and doesn't understand. I had to do like education to them, showing them Totango, showing them what we do, showing them the value, showing them what it can. Why do I need it? Why do I drive crazy? And sometimes, you know, the R&D doesn't need too much, but adding in one call to the JavaScript. But they have their own priorities, they have their own perception, they don't want any mess. So I had to work very, very closely with them to educate them on why I need that at all. Lastly, when we finished this project, we had a nice group meeting, presented it on the board, and we gave a large kudos page, and obviously sent that to NATO distribution to all the management, everyone, and that made a great effect. I was surprised. There were many, many people that were involved, okay, because it was so complicated project to do all the integration. I had to use operation team, I had to work with marketing team, order management team, a lot of teams. Many, many people, it was the first time that they saw their name on a presentation with a thank you next to that, okay? And now when I need things from them, it's very easy for me to get. They remember that credit. You know, it's the basic of the basic, but it always works. So far, any questions? You're all too quiet. Okay. And now, how did we do it in Totango? Okay. So the first thing, and don't undertake it, is the data scheme. Now the data scheme in Totango is simple. Okay. You either put an attribute or metrics. It's very simple. My challenge was to build it outside Totango and to decide what to push into Totango. Now the friends may disagree with me, But my approach was that it's better to clean the data as much as you can outside because you have SQL, you have management, and then you push the clean data into Totango, and only the clean data. Now, don't overload. Don't drop everything into Totango. Do it slowly. Okay? Make sure that what you put into Totango is usable, is clean, is good. Okay? If you want to, after that, to do some data cleaning in Totango, that's not the place. Okay? So I worked a lot with them, again, with R&D, with order management, with the MIS to build a data scheme, to build the good reports that will be exactly the data that I want. And then all I needed to do in Totango is to put the attributes one time and to put the custom metrics, and that's all. Okay? And I got the data clean and good. And another tip I can give you, don't overwhelm not Totango and not your CSM with data. Or maybe input it, but do it in stages, one after one. Make sure that you can swallow all the new information that you get, that you can process it. And after that, I remember a conversation with my MIS, and they told me, I can give you this, and I can do that. I told them, I still can't handle the information you already give me. You want to give me more? What will I do with that? Okay. So we decided to focus on, again, licensing and health of the system. Our system has a lot of configuration, GRE tunnels, those of you who knows, devices are connected or not connected, basic features, and now we are adding more and more after that we build the processes. Second, the success blocks, which is a very nice way to organize. I use it a lot. I did one on renewal, I did one on adoption, and I had some previously, and I put everything under the success blocks. Using the success flows, there are a few approaches. I try not to do too many, though some customers are doing more. I didn't want to confuse. Maybe I'll change it later, but I just did 2 or 3 success flows. Okay? The type of icon, the type of touch point. And the reason is it was easier for me to filter later and wanted to simplify it, but I know that there are other approaches, and that's completely fine. Now, once I did that, okay, I worked a lot about the segments. Now, the segment, I think, are the best tool as part of your automation project to do your own checks and to do your own tuning and to make sure no false positive. Okay? It's very easy, to say, okay, we have the segment, boom, let's run a success play. The day after, you get 1,000 cases. Everyone are overwhelmed. No one knows what to do with it. Okay? So what I did first, I looked on the segments, and there was a fix here, a fix there, a tuning, another field is missing. I'm sure you all had that. And once I was happy with the segments, and once I saw that a segment of accounts that are overusing is 100% correct, and a segment of account that stop using the service is 100% correct, only then I created the success plays and automated that and created automatic tickets for the CSM. About campaigns, this is something that we are about to start using. We are about to launch a campaign for users who didn't log in for a while, and we want them to go back into the portal and start using, which I didn't use that, and I'm going to use soon. The last thing I used in Totango is scorecard. Now, I'm sure you're all, those who are in Totango, using the red, yellow, green, which is excellent. Okay, that's the basic. However, when you have a specific target, for example, the target I had is to make sure that account with the product we call hybrid, the device that is on-prem, is connected well and transferring data, and we wanted to increase the usage there. Then scorecard is your best tool, okay? Because you can really see, and there's a lot of options there. You can see how many are connected, you can put graphs, you can see the improvement. Just last night, I was sending a copy of a scorecard to my executive, showing them, hey, see how great we did. There is a nice line that is growing down. Okay, so I use it a lot. Excellent dashboard helps also a lot to show progress in a specific domain. Not replacing the red, yellow, green, of course, but it's a strong addition. Again, any questions before? Sure.
How big is your team of customer success managers, and how many customers is your team serving?
Okay, so the customers with onboarding, we are about 10 CSM. The number of customers we are serving in the cloud division, Radware itself is thousands of customers, is about 360 account. Okay, now the way we handle it, each CSM should have about 30 accounts, and we are now redesigning redesigning the low touch, and how are we going to handle it.
Do you plan to show us any actual examples of your scorecard or dashboard so we can visualize it better?
It's a public company. It's hard for me to do that. Okay,
Sure.
it's an internal. If you want later to come and you put your phone behind, please do. Okay,
Good
but
idea.
here in YouTube, I'm just okay. Everything here is public. You know, it's you can take our reports right in the website, but I'm not allowed to.
What are the metrics?
Come after it. Come after it. I'll show you exactly
No
what
worries,
it
but are there any specific metrics that you find good for the scorecard?
is. Yes, specific metrics. So first, which is very important for us. I don't know if anyone else sharing it. Health. Okay, we have like a tunnels to the customers. Those tunnels can go down.
Okay.
What was happening that the tunnels were going down, support was sending an email if it was a sunny day. If it was a rainy day, they were not sending an email. And then nothing. Okay? And what we do, okay, I get an alert 3 days after it. Because I'm not operation, I'm not support, I don't need to see flapping. But if an account, the GRE tunnel is not on us, it means we can divert the traffic. It means that if the account will be attacked, we can't help. It's a catastrophe for us. Okay? That's the worst that can happen to us. I know about it. I can solve it. I can share with you an example. A big insurance company, exactly the same. They did an upgrade. Because they did an upgrade, we didn't see them. Because we didn't see them, we could have an attack. We analyze it, we fix the bug, we sort it. And when the renewal will come, I will have no issues at all. So I focused a lot about health. And also, it's a question of maturity. We are now in, the cloud is like a startup within Radware, which is a big organization. We still have a lot of maturity issues and stability issues, so I'm focusing on that a lot around health.
So they say if you see support issues, it means that the customers is using more of your, of your solution, right? It's actually sometimes a good indicator that they're fully using your services. Besides support, what are the other metrics that you think are important?
So it's not support, okay? I'm measuring support from the beginning, from day one. It's more about the configuration. It's more about the way the system is being used.
Okay.
Support is a break fix. They contact if there is a problem.
Right.
Okay? I would say in some ways I'm overlapping with what operations should do. Okay? But those organizations will never be proactive. They will tell you, I emailed the customer. That's it. What do you mean you emailed the customer? They are down. Tomorrow there will be an attack. Okay. What will we do? I don't know, I email the customer, okay? And that's the difference because we need to be proactive. And again, I get involved not immediately. I'm not a tier 1, I'm not a tier 2. Only when something is consistently bad, then I put the effort.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Most welcome. Okay, so after we did all of that, and thank you for the excellent questions, what was the outcome? So first, generate leads. We found out that 20% of our customers are using more than what they should, okay? Either because we never blocked them, either because we never told them you can't put 2 more networks, or either for good reasons. So we had a very nice campaign, we opened leads, we generated the salespeople. We also had to change our pricing and we had to do some additional changes, but now it's much better and generated a lot of revenue to us, okay? The other thing, this one is, you know, the story that shows the power of automation. I knew that I had a problem with a specific domain, what I told you before. I knew the CSM was reporting to me, here it's not connected, but I didn't know how big the problem is. I thought I have 10% issue, 15% issue, okay, we are solving it. But then when I got the report, boom, 50% of my customers are not configured properly. That's, you know, a full catastrophe that we were not aware to it. We have set it as a goal to the team for Q3. And we were able to reduce the number from 50% to 15%. Okay? We also fixed the processes of the onboarding. There was a lot of fixes around that. But only thanks to the automation, we understood the severity of the issue. Okay? Again, in our, I'm still not very mature with the product, so those are the type of issues I'm going to deal with. Next is we are going to deal with login. Okay? Customers that are not logged in. Call for actions. Okay? Again, when our process is for the low touch, we are talking to them twice a year. It's not just talking, it's reviewing the whole customer file, all the tickets, all the configuration. And when I come after 6 months, it's too late. Today, if a customer stops using or overusing, okay, not just bad, overusing, I know about it in time. I fix it immediately before it becomes an issue. Okay, that's a completely big change. Health measurement, I had customers that are green, but never, were not connected to the system. So now a green is green, a yellow is yellow, a red is red. So again, helps me to focus my efforts where I really need them, and the system is very accurate on its results. Last, which is not less important, is the time a CSM is investing on the preparations. If before they had to go to a million places, they had to open the BI, they had to open the BI to see what they bought, they had to open the contracts, they had to log into the portal. Now in one page, you can see everything that you want to know. You open Totango, boom, you have it all. You just get the information and process. It saves about 25% of the preparations they are making before talking to a customer. And there were things that I didn't project at all. There was a lot of positive side effects that did for me personally and for the organization very well. Thanks to the integration that we did, thanks to the data scheme that we did, thanks to the fact that we put it in Totango and Totango has an API outside, there were many side projects that were built. So for example, we did, my boss went to Slack. Now when he's typing a customer name, he gets from Totango the user information I bought in and other parameters which are very, very strong. Operations are using it as reports to their own things. So there's a lot of things I wasn't even planning, but it becomes a really, really strong tool outside the customer success team and had a strong effect to the whole organization. Okay. So far, any question? Yeah.
So on the second adoption status there, where you had 50%
Yes.
configuration, how did Totango help you discover that specifically? Trying to understand that.
The power of automation, okay? Because if every time a CSM was telling me this account is bad, okay. But once you have one segment that is showing you the status, it's the easiest thing. You have a report, online report, okay?
So instead of having to go into every single account individually.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Question
Okay.
about the side effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, is there time?
For you always.
Wait, who's asking? Oh, it's Costin.
Costin? Thanks, Robin. So you mentioned the side effects. I was curious to hear more about the data that you're bringing out and the value that data has to other areas of your organization.
Okay, so if I'll tell the Slack what they did, they want to know a lot of things. Okay, first they want to see the latest touch point. Second, they had a lot of information in a resolution that is completely not interesting me in our portal. Like for example, one account is connected to a few scrubbing centers. Okay, I don't care about that. My management care, but because we did automation, now they can get additional information. Okay, just for the sake of the time, I'll be happy to continue with you afterwards.
So it's good that you have so many questions, and we do want to have some time for questions at the end. Worst case, Evyatar will be happy to speak with any one of you. So a little bit of a practice, and again, a homework assignment, if you may, right? I would love for each and every one of you to take a customer, and we'll try to put it into this flow chart. In the case or in the example of a good adoption, we know that the customer is logging to our platform, and we know that they are using it. But I really want you to ask yourself, how are they using it? Once you answered yourself, can we clearly say, as a customer success manager, can I clearly articulate the value that my customer is getting from my service, from my product? If no, then we need to have a value realization discussions with our customers. And it's okay, and it's really important for me to say that. If you cannot automatically understand whether your customers are getting value from your product, don't be shy. Go ask them, whether it's part of your business reviews or whatnot. You should have this discussion with your customers. Once you understand it, log it into Totango and plan ahead on what you need to do. If they are getting the value, log it as well as Totango with its unique success flow, so you'll be able to track it down when needed. Now ask yourself whether they get enough value from your service or from your product, and then understand whether you can have this expansion discussion with them. If no, create an action plan on how you can show more value to your customer, so you'll be able to have this discussion. And if they do have enough value, you should plan on how you bring it up and what are the next steps that you want to take and what are the expansion opportunities for them. I want you to do the same thing for your poor adoption customers, okay? So we know that they are not logging to the platform. Is there any specific problem? Is it because of support tickets that are open and preventing them from using your software? Or is it any other option that is causing them not to use it? Once we answered ourselves, we need to ask ourselves, what are the set of features that will give the most value to our customers? And once we know that, we need to create an log and action plan to demonstrate to our customers how they can get the value from our product. We need to have the customer success manager to schedule a meeting with the customer and pitch the value for them. Now, once you're doing that, it's not enough, right? It's not just selling the idea. You need to make sure that they are using that. So set up follow-up meetings, set up training session with the team and make sure that they are using the product, getting the value from it. Now we're going back to the good process flowchart, right? And once they're getting now that we know that they are getting the value, then what are our expansion opportunities and how we and what we can do with the customers. So any questions on this? So just choose one good adoption customer that you have, one poor adoption customer that you have. Fill in the flowcharts, answer the questions. The questions were generic. I know that each one of you has its own product, its own business. Try to get the answers that you need from this flowchart and determine the correct path forward to realize the value. Additional questions that you may have? I think we're good on time. Anything? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.